connection with our community. We are Golden Acre Quilting, located here in Claremont, New Hampshire. I'm Louisa Grindle. I own Golden Acre Quilting with my husband, Darren Grindle. We have an incredible team of beautiful people who help us make it possible, including Aunt Ellen, who's running cameras tonight. It's okay, it's okay. And Darren, who is handling our wheel of names. And Darren, if you can let me know if it actually starts out there, that'd be great. All right, perfect. And we are a local, family-owned, family-run quilt shop. We have fabric, thread, notions, patterns, classes, events, long-arm services, sewing machine repair, and most of all, inspiration and a feeling of family and welcome when you come here. That's the thing that I think really sets us apart from other places you can go to get those objects. And we have a weekly live YouTube broadcast. Every week we ask a question. And if you answer that question in the chat while we're broadcasting live, then you get a chance to earn the sample that we're making in the tutorial at the end of the broadcast. This week we're making a fabric envelope. And this week's question is, what are you doing to take care of yourself as we enter this busy holiday season? I'm going to answer for Darren and I. Yesterday, we took the day off. We stayed home. I did not leave my pajamas. I tried really hard not to leave my house. I baked fresh homemade bagels and cinnamon buns, filled my house with just beautiful smells and wonderfulness, and relaxed, which we desperately needed. And so we're just checking in with everybody. Before we get all this hectic craziness going, what are you doing to take care of yourself, to refill your cup so that you can then go out and do for others? So answer that question in the chat for a chance to win tonight's sample. And we have just a few bowls that came in. I don't know if you can see all that behind me. We started restocking from the Lori Holt Bee in My Bonnet basics. So that's what all of this is. To my left and to my right. They are small prints, which is probably hard to see from there, although with our new high definition camera, I don't know if you've noticed a difference in the image quality yet this week. Hopefully you have. But with our new camera, you might be able to see some of those beautiful small prints. They're great mixers and blenders. They work well together. We've got all sorts of different colors going on in those. And we also got some bolder prints. This is from a collection called Color Club that we've been slowly getting over time. These all have small birds on them, some really vibrant colors there. And these have sort of either a wood grain or a small zebra print, I guess, depending on how you wanted to interpret those fabrics there. And we do have a couple of new Sassy Sunflower bundles in the shop. It's going to be a little bit difficult for me to share those this week because about 2 minutes before we went live, 2 of our cameras stopped connecting with YouTube. So we don't have the close-up one, but I can bring them over to this one. So I'll grab them. and we just won't have. Do we have sound now? But let's see what happens. I'll just kind of babble on a little bit. Okay, all right. So we think we've got sound. We won't know because there's a 90-second delay before it gets back to you folks. All right. Looks like we have sound again. Looks like we can't change cameras tonight. All right. So it's the big one overhead. So this one is the sunflowers in my heart. And this one is in the afterglow, just in case you want to come into the shop and look for them or call us if you're long distance. And these are two versions of the teal, the pink, and hopefully we've got sound back now. And we only lost that little bit when we went over to the other camera. Okay, we're going to just drop back and punt, right? That's all you can do when technology doesn't play well with others. We also wanted to share with you that we have the companion pattern to crisscross apron, which is what I'm wearing. This makes the child size apron. So if you wanted to make the mom and me or grandmom and me or dad and me or grandpa and me, apron sets for Christmas. We've got both the children's size pattern and the adult pattern back in stock. I am not good at still. Has anyone not figured that out yet? I am a wiggle worm. Okay. So we have this one and we have the adult pattern. They're both in stock here at the shop. We have a class coming up on December 1st for the adult size crisscross apron with Lynn. It's going to be a really special class day because the shop is closed because we have a family gathering that day. And so we're going to be away, but Lynn's going to be here teaching that class. So if you sign up for the crisscross apron class, you kind of get exclusive access to the shop while it's closed, and you get to make that wonderful crisscross apron. So I do, yes. But I figured with the camera being, yeah. So I kind of gave up. But we have some in the shop here that we've made out of double border fabrics where it kind of looks like a garden at the bottom. They are reversible. So the back, this is another double border fabric that one was made with. This is made with fabric from that Lori Holt line, the kind of purple and mustard. And then the reverse side has the mustard with the purple pockets. You can put bric-a-brac on the pockets. You can tulip the pockets. Lots of things you can do to kind of move the apron up a little bit. It's a beginner-friendly project, and with Lynn teaching, it's a beginner-friendly class. So take the adventure. Sign up and join us on December 1st. This week, Wednesday, tomorrow, we have rotary cutting with our all-inclusive Learn to Quilt students. We're super excited to see them learn that skill, although one of them came to the Tippy Tote class on Saturday and she did great. So we're just super excited to see them blossoming. We have open sew on Thursdays, except for this Thursday where we have 12 months of gifts. We're going to do some in the hoop projects this Thursday. It's going to be really fun. That runs at 10:30 and 4:30 this Thursday the 14th. On Friday at 2 o'clock, you can come make machine applique with the embroidery machine towels. In the pumpkin form. So that's 2 o'clock on this Friday with Donna. You never leave an embroidery class with Donna just knowing how to make the thing you're making. She always shares lots of other expertise and beautifulness. So definitely worth coming to learn not just that skill, but so much more about using your embroidery machine on Friday at 2. Saturday, we continue our t-shirt quilting journey with those folks. And Sunday, we have the Scrappy Flying Geese group finishing up and quilting those. We're excited to see their journey as well. And then we have the Pillowcase Club on Sunday, November 24th at 10:30 or Thursday, December 5th at 5:30. So 2 upcoming opportunities to make pillowcases with us. We talked about the crisscross apron on December 1st. And I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it from there, but this is the apron that oh my gosh, this is the ornament. This is the ornament. Thank you for the orientation. And if I don't talk, we could go over to the other camera and I could show them close, right? Okay. All right. So I won't. I'll talk again. So I had some metal bobbins that I bought for a machine that I didn't know I shouldn't use metal bobbins in. I bought lots of them because I was going to make all kinds of coordinating thread, you know, thread bobbin sets. So I decided to turn it into an ornament for our ornament swap. That is December 7th. We now have 12 people signed up, so you'd make 12 of your ornaments and leave with 11 other ornaments from everybody else. And that registration ends on the 16th. So this Saturday is the last day to register for that. It's free to register. You just bring your ornaments and enjoy the time. We do have a virtual participation option. So even if you're from farther away, but you'd like to participate and get those ornaments, you can ship yours into us by December 3rd. And when the ornament event is over, we'll ship yours back to you. I think that's it for upcoming classes. Oh, and a mobile sharpening day coming up on December 8th. So Rick from Absolute Edge will be back in-house on December 8th, ready to sharpen our scissors and pinking shears and get them ready for that last-minute holiday gift work that we're going to do. I don't know how to do the demo effectively without the overhead or the close-up camera. So I think I'm just going to talk people through it with the steps that I have here, and we'll still have the opportunity to give our sample away. We did put a link in the description of the video to the written tutorial that we used as inspiration to make this week. So okay, we can try switching cameras. We can try. So this is the fabric envelope that we're going to make. Yeah. And in order to make it, you need two 5x11-inch pieces of fabric. And I actually played around with some scraps that I had, some 2.5-inch strip scraps, and I made stripped pieces, made a hole long with the fabric by 2.5-inch strips with the 5 strips together. It didn't quite make 11 inches, but I decided that would be okay because it used up some of the scraps we had, and I think also kind of gave it a little bit more interest. And then one rectangle the same size as your fabric rectangles of, I used fusible fleece, but it could also just be batting, and you could use a little bit of 505, or you could use Shape Flex or Decor Bonds. A lot of flexibility in the stabilizer that you use for this, for the project. So if it's fusible, use it to the wrong side of one of those rectangles. If it's not a fusible, use a little bit of 505 or spray basting and get them connected. And then you line up right sides together with your interfacing on one side and your fabrics on the other. And you draw yourself some lines. I learned something interesting. So if you look at the written tutorial on this, you'll see that her envelope front is a very different shape. It actually comes down a little and then goes in, and it's quite cute. I tried to interpret what she had done, and I used a 60-degree ruler to draw my lines before I stitched. And then when I went back and looked at it again, I realized that a 45-degree line would have given me more of that cute final shape than this sort of more awkward, really pointy envelope flap. So I would recommend going back to the 45-degree concept, which you could actually do with a rectangular ruler. Or square ruler. You would find the center of your rectangle and put the point of your ruler at the center and draw your 45-degree lines instead of the 60-degree lines that I drew on this one. But either way, you draw some angled lines near that top and then stitch, leaving an opening over here. So you stitch up and on the diagonal, down over here, around here, and up to here. Back stitching, leaving an opening there so that you can turn it. And then once you turn it, you do the same thing we've done on a number of our tutorials and tuck in those 1/4-inch sides and press, and then top stitch all the way around. And your top stitching can be 1/8 of an inch from the edge, 1/4 of an inch from the edge. Really, it's just a matter of sealing off that opening and giving it a little bit of decor. And then you can see this one is the one I made with strip pieces, and I used plastic snaps to create the seal there. You could also stitch in a little loop right here and put a button closure, or you could use metal snaps, you could use sew-in snaps. There's lots of options. Velcro, you don't want to sew that on, use a couple little pieces of hook and loop closure to make that stick there, and it's done. And you could put a gift card in with it. You could put a few pieces of candy in there. Money. Yeah, cash. Cash is king, right? Aunt Ellen's in the back going, you can put a little bit of. So, there's, you could adjust your sizes of your rectangles to get bigger or smaller, depending on what you want to give to someone. But it's just a really sweet little way that we thought you could make something, wrap things up, and enjoy. Are we doing okay? Now nothing is working. Oh dear. Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna finish like we've got everything working. Darren, are you still seeing anything out there? All right. Perfect. Okay. All right. So this is the quilt of the week for this week, and it is one that came in as kind of a last minute, and the pattern repeats. So I'm not going to try to get the whole quilt open, but it is made by one of our quilters for a disabled veteran, and she brought in the thread, which is a red, white, and blue variegated, and wanted it stippled. And this is someone who brings quilts to us quite frequently, and we just adore her and the work that she does for the good in this world. So we were able to squeeze this one in and get it done for her. So when she comes to pick this up for that disabled vet, there will be a discount on it because it was featured as Quilt of the Week, which we think is wonderful. And the other reason that we thought this would be, that we thought this would be a great Quilt of the Week to feature is that if you read our newsletter, or if you didn't, I'm going to tell you anyway, we have reserved a conference room at the White River Junction VA Hospital from March 27th to the 30th of next year. We're going to use the 27th to set up and then invite people to come from the 28th to the 30th, leaving their things set up in between and sewing as many Quilts of Valor quilts as we can. Quilts of Valor is a charitable organization that gathers quilts that are made for veterans, and then they distribute them to veterans who need a quilt. And they have some structure to their program that we'll share as we get closer. They have lots of free patterns for those quilts that we're going to share as we get closer. I'm meeting with the two folks who have been planning this with me, Anne and Tina, on Monday. We're going to have lunch and do some project planning and get most of the details hammered out, so we'll be able to share more soon. But right now, what we know is that if you're part of a guild or know another shop owner in the region, and it would be helpful for us to communicate with them about participating in this event, we really don't need this to be about Golden Acre Quilting. We need this to be about the veterans. So we would like to connect with as many organizations that have sewers and creators in them and get as many people in that room making quilts as we can in March. We'd love to just have it be a huge contribution to our regional chapter of Quilts of Valor. So mark your calendars and let us know what guilds you belong to, what shop owners you can connect us to, and when we can come see those people to let them know what they can do to participate. We're also looking for corporate sponsorship for that event to help provide food for the people who are going to be there sewing, water, coffee, help us with marketing, help us with, the cost of all of the things that go into creating an event like that, or donating fabric, donating batting. We're going to work to be able to donate at least some of the long arm services, but if we get as many people there making quilts as we're hoping to get, we won't be able to absorb all of it. So that's another opportunity for people to participate. If you have a long arm and you'd be willing to long arm some of the quilts for us once the tops are created, that'd be wonderful. So just kind of keep your eyes and ears open for more details, but also think about how you want to participate and what you might be able to contribute to that event. And I think we are at the point where we draw our weekly gift card winner for a $10 gift card for folks who have paid with cash or check at the shop this week. And we have Carol. Carol, I will give you a call. And we put these up at the register, and they're there until you come in to use them. So we'll give you a shout out, Carol, and let you know that you've got a $10 gift card. Oh, I just, okay. And our sample, Papa, have you got that wheel of names ready to spin out there? All right. He's going to spin the wheel of names for us while he spins and we wait. Are there any other comments or questions we should check in about?
Some interest in the book of the hour.
Wonderful.
And people are interested in participating.
I'm so excited about this. We'll have a registration opportunity on our website once we get all the details hammered out with Tina and Ann and I at lunch. We haven't, I think we're just going to have fun. But we'll get all the details out to you as soon as we can. Papa, who's our winner? Jean Corliss. Jean, thank you for watching. We have a fabric envelope for you next time you come in to do sewing machine repair. Maybe we'll put something extra in it when we give it to Jean to thank her for everything she's doing to keep those sewing machines operating and heading out the door. It's, the smile on people's faces when their machine is ready to be picked up and they can go back to sewing. Priceless. Absolutely priceless. So thank you, Jean, for all that you're doing to keep that going. And I think that's it. We overcame, right? We had no sound, the cameras weren't working, but we're such a resilient community. We're such a beautiful group of people, and you stuck with me and you stayed here even though there was no sound. And you told me that you couldn't hear me and let us know so that we could fix it. And we're still together, and that's really representative of what we aim to create here at Golden Acre Quilting, is that resilience and that stick-to-itiveness and that mental health, just virtual hug and